Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. We're continuing here in the PELE YOETZ, Ahavas Ish v'Isha, the love of a husband and a wife. This particular paragraph is a very tall order that the PELE YOETZ is about to say. And keep in mind that we'll have to discuss towards the end what is going to be the practical way in which we bring this to fruition. The Isha asher nofel begorla ish ra ublial. If you have a woman who unfortunately has fallen into her lot, a very bad and lawless and ruthless husband, maka umakalil, let's say that he is abusive, and not only with physically but emotionally as well, the names that he calls to his wife, doires ubayel, he comes in and he takes advantage of his wife, so to speak, in intimate relations, and he just, even when they're angry with each other, even when there's no love between them, he just does what he does. So what does the PELE YOETZ say a woman should do over here? Tekabel aleha din shamayim. She should accept upon herself this din, this decree that has come obviously from shamayim, from the heavens. V'tizbo v'leisibo lechapel nafsho. And she should just bear this burden that her husband is placing upon her. It'll be a kapara, it'll be an absolution of sins from her nefesh, from her soul. This will purify her. Ki toiv schar la'olam haba, because she will have great reward waiting for in the world to come if she's able to endure the difficulties of this world living together with this man. Ve'eshes chayal isha maskeles le'segal le'cherpas bailo. And if she's a real Eshes Chayil, a God-fearing woman, she will not reveal the embarrassment of her husband to anyone. She won't tell people what a rotten scoundrel he is, what a nasty husband he is, what he does to her in the house. She's not going to go to her friends at a coffee bean over breakfast and start telling them what a lowlife her husband is. And her voice, the husband should not hear her complaints, because if he hears that she's saying things, she's going around town talking about what a miserable person he is, he's going to hate her even more. Gil says because she revealed his embarrassment and his shame. The guy's got problems, obviously, and therefore the woman is supposed to protect his issues. His anger is going to fester even more. And his rage is going to burn inside of him. And she better beware, because maybe this husband is going to lose it and he'll end up striking his wife, God forbid. Now, says the PELE YOETZ, we're going to have to speak about this, because a woman, Bizman Hazeh, in our generation, she cannot live like this. She's not going to be able to live with a husband that is a ish ra ublial, who lawless, ruthless type of a person, who is cruel and abusive and physically and emotionally. Is not the way of the world right now. We can't expect women to be able to live like such a thing. If a woman has issues with her husband, he gets angry, he gets upset, he's a little bit too intense, perhaps he doesn't treat her in the nicest of ways, there already maybe we can apply the words of the PELE YOETZ, that she's going to have to recognize that this is a gezer, this is a judgment that has come min hashamayim, from the heavens. And if she'll accept it upon herself, it'll be a kapara, it'll be an absolve her from her sins, it'll cleanse her from her sins. But if she has a abusive husband, we're talking about domestic violence over here, she has a husband that is cruel and rude and nasty to her, curses her, puts her down, does things that are totally inappropriate. So that couple needs help. That couple needs to go to a therapist, they need to go to their Rav, they need to go to their mentor, they need to go to somebody that can hopefully help them through a very difficult and messy situation that they find themselves in. And then if they get the proper help, and the man is going to get his therapy to learn how to have some anger control and be a nicer person to his wife, and the wife is going to learn how to deal with him and be patient and understanding and forgiving based on the things that he does, then there's a possibility that the marriage is going to last. But if they're caught up in a situation that is a total disaster, spiritually, emotionally, physiologically, everything that you could imagine, and there's hatred between them, and there's violence between them, and there's screaming and yelling and cursing between them, and there's devastation that is between them, so they're going to need the intervention and the sagely advice of either their Rav, of their therapist, of someone that's going to be involved over there and help them maneuver and navigate through a very difficult marriage and situation and decide what should they do. Should they in fact stay together in misery and just take the kapara, take the cleansing of their sins, or should they chas v'chalila have to move on and absolve the marriage that is there? These are major shaylas, major questions that people sometimes need to ask themselves. It is not simple. It is not something to make in a moment of rage and anger and a fit of total meltdown that a person's having when they're with their husband and their wife, their spouses together. It's something that requires a lot of thought and a lot of understanding and a lot of intuition to know what HaKadosh Baruch Hu truly wants from a person. Make sure that you have a Rav, make sure that you have a Rebbetzin, make sure that you have a therapist, psychologist, psychiatrist, depending on how severe the situation is. And don't make decisions in anger and rage and off the cuff. Make sure that when you make that decision of what is best for you, for the children, for the whole situation, make sure that you seek a lot of counsel so that you don't make a mistake in a very delicate and fragile situation. Have a wonderful day.